Hey, I want to come on here and talk about something that I know I've been living with for about 12 years now. I was at the store a few days ago and I seen this girl with her mother and her family, and they were trying to pick out arthritis medication. And it took so much of me to not even put my 2 cents in and try to give them a little advice. My friend was just like, I can go up to strangers and give them any type of help that I feel I can, and that's what was really getting at me to go say something because they were going through all the different Tylenols and aspirin and Aleve, and I just wanted to say so much about what I've gone through and try to help her out with picking something to take and just helping her with some advice and motivation for her journey from here on out, because I know growing up I tried all these medications and went by what doctors told me. I tried medications that were recalled, like Viax. I took that, and it's just really weird to think about what the diagnosis is and what happens, because pretty much the diagnosis is your immune system attacks your immune system attacks your own body. So it's just like your joints are affected, and they say other organs, but then again, you don't really want to keep thinking about that. So yeah, it's really crazy to just think about younger kids. She looked like she was probably 13, 14, and you can just tell by the way her posture was. And it's just like me knowing that I'm not the only one that knows what it feels like or what it's like to live with this disorder and disease. It's all in the mind sometimes. It's just like me overcoming it and knowing that all these medications that the doctors put us on were like guinea pigs for, and it's really crazy because I know I was always into sports and being athletic, and when I was diagnosed I thought, oh well, I shouldn't do this, I shouldn't do that. Well, I should have kept on going, because stuff like swimming would be the best sport. Of course I wasn't always trying to swim, got the hair. That was the only excuse. Also, it's just like they want you to swim, and then they say that's best for you, but are they giving us a membership to where we can go swimming? Like, it's so crazy when we talk about health insurance too. The doctors help us with medications and surgeries and procedures, but do they help us with getting our knee braces and all the other stuff that really helps? Massages. It's just weird when you think about how America and the health system and healthcare is run, because when I tell my doctors I know what could help me and what I know would help with my process of recovery and remission, they just kind of let it go in one ear and out the other. I say I don't need to get a whole joint replacement, and they say I do. So it's me just fighting it, and I know there's other people out there that need to keep fighting, and it's not even easy because people don't understand. Like, once it's in your mind, it's kind of hard to get it out, and you can have people all around you that can help you. I mean, people can help you say, like, you can do this, or, I don't know. It's just they give you these limitations, and you kind of have to fight them, and it's day after day. You wake up, some days you can't even make a fist, and nobody understands, like, why. It's just, you gotta keep trying, and then by the end of the day you can. You wake up and you loosen up. I think about it as people that don't have any kind of diagnosis. When they wake up in the morning, do they stretch? Like, it's so weird to wonder how it's like without, life's like without pain. It's not something that you think about all the time, but it makes you stronger. It's just knowing how each day you're gonna overcome it. You don't even think about it all the time. Like, both my knees are replaced, both my hips, my feet are soon to get surgery. I just got off the phone today, coincidentally, with the wrist and elbow doctor, because when I was in physical therapy, I was told that I was gonna have to get my joints replaced. There was no repairing them, and it's just, that's what they told me, and that's kind of a lie, because I wasn't able to straighten my elbows or my arms pretty far, but now I can do it a little bit further, and it's just kind of just beating I don't know, it's crazy. Well, so I want anybody out there that has to just fight through pain or any kind of illness or diseases. I want them to fight with their mind, because this is our life that we're living. We can't let some diagnosis just bring us down, because throughout all of that negativity that I've been fed by doctors talking about I can't do this and I can't do this, that's what I've been proving. I tried to stay in school and I got my degree, my associate's degree. I stayed with my job that is at a summer camp with kids, and we're waking up at 7:30 in the morning until 11:30 at night until they go to sleep, sometimes midnight. And all day you're with these kids, you're being active, you're outside, you're doing activity, you're keeping a positive attitude. It's just all day, every day for 10 weeks, and I've done that for 8 years, and it's just knowing how I still staying in school through my surgeries. I would get my hip replaced. I was going on my crutches up the hills to classes. Like, it's really tiring on the body when you think about everything. I was still playing soccer when I was diagnosed. I just chose my favorite sport and stuck with it because I didn't want to do all the other sports that I knew were gonna make it worse. Or, but soccer was a pretty violent, rough sport. Not violent sport, a rough sport. And I just stuck with it. I had fun. I didn't want to let the disease beat me. And that's kind of what we have to do with our mind, because anything that these doctors are giving us, we don't even know if they are, because I'm one of those patients that constantly tried all these new medications and didn't work, or I would tell them like I still feel this pain, or they tell me that, oh well, we have a new one. Every time I go to the rheumatologist, all they say is, let me see your joints, and they check them out. Okay, yeah, they look bad, and that's all they say, and then they think about the new medication to put me on, when really it's about treatment of whatever. It's about working on all the pain as is, and I don't know. I think most importantly it's about massaging and staying active, because it's not something that medication, I feel, can cure 100% when your mind isn't healthy. And I know that it's so easy to just lay in bed and let it take over, but that's how I feel like destruction surprised me. I was focusing on my knee replacements and hip replacements all year after year, all those months, and that's when my upper body was just like, hello, I'm still here. So it's like every day you wake up and it's making yourself come alive again, and I don't know how to explain it. Like people that have pain, if you fall and hurt your knee, it's kind of like how arthritis is. Like that pain's just there. Like when you're walking, that pain's just there. If you fell on your knee, or if somebody's constantly taking a hammer and hitting whatever joint that they want to, me just doing that, like I can feel something in my body, and it's weird. You can't explain it. And it's also the fact that growing up, everyone wanted to know like my strengths and weaknesses, and don't ever underestimate somebody like me and somebody like you that might be watching, because you will have your strength when you need it. What I find is awesome is how I stayed in sports, and also when I had to defend my friend when she got attacked by this girl, I was the one that helped win the fight. Like, that's where my strength came from. Like, it's within you and it makes you stronger, so don't ever think you're that weak. And it's weird when you're in high school or middle school and you're growing up and you have gym class, because nobody wants to do their running. Nobody wants to do their running and their laps and stuff, and they want that excuse that they're in pain, but I don't think it was the greatest excuse. So I wanted to not be the one standing out in that situation. It was awkward because I knew I could do a push-up, but it might have been a struggle. Like, it's weird how they do this education system now, because there is no treatment for anybody with that kind of disabilities or anything. It could have been easily a class or something where personal trainers, it was like gym teacher / personal trainer. That's the type of stuff that we needed, and I don't think that anybody out there will understand unless they experience it, because it's real, it's there, it's just, once it's diagnosed, you gotta fight it, and it's always about staying strong and motivated to do the things that you like to do. Put on some music and do some movements that look silly just because you have to keep those joints moving. You keep them still, they're going to freeze up. That's why they say I have a frozen shoulder. I don't have a frozen shoulder. So they say, like, I have a frozen shoulder and that's what's going to need a replacement. And I'm trying to tell doctors, like, anything that I feel in my mind would help. I want to know why they can't take my advice. I know they're educated and experienced, but like, it's my body. I say that I feel like anesthesia and some kind of stretching, you know, the old fashioned torture treatments where they would take people limb by limb and stretch them. I feel like that's what I need, not no whole joint replacement. Like, this is my body. I have objects in my body that will recall. Like, well, who wants to live like that? Knowing, oh, we don't know how long they're going to last. So, hopefully 10 years. Hopefully 10 years. I would rather my body, my bones, stay in my body and my kind of treatment and curing of whatever being motive in helping this healing. I don't know how else to explain it. I guess anybody that's out there and who knows what I'm going through or is going to experience it will know. I met a girl in middle school. When I was diagnosed, she was like, oh yeah, my grandma has that. Or like, that's everything people say. Like, oh, my mom has it in her ankle. Or my grandma has that. Like, we don't understand how it is until it happens. But then when she was diagnosed years down the road, and she's like, wow, how do you deal with this? And how do you deal with that? And what medications are you taking? And I'm just like, chaos. All these years I've been on these medications that I chose to get off because I'm like, they're not helping. I get off of it, I don't feel any worse. When I'm on it, I don't feel any better. So what is it? With my mind, I'm taking the time every day to just stay at ease. And it's hard to understand how, when I think about a career choice, like, is that career going to help my stress levels or is it going to make it worse? Like, I'm trying to be somebody that's doing things I enjoy constantly. And I know that whatever future holds, I'm just trying to stay strong for that. I'm not trying to have a reversed life. Like, all this fight. Like, what's the point of living if you're just going to keep fighting to just stay alive? It's not easy. So, all I know is growing up, I had my faith. I still have my faith. I was going to church. I would go to church. I know that I went and volunteered with older people at the nursing homes. I played games. I fed the homeless people. It's just, I've been all over this world, I feel like, and I'm still here standing today. The disease that they say is the the crippler, the great crippler. I'm trying to, I'm trying to motivate everybody out there to keep going because it's not going to cripple you unless you let it. And first, it's going to cripple your mind, so you have to fight it. Whatever you do, every day, you have to give yourself time. You have whoever you're living with, your guardians or your family, your friends, you have to let them know and get them educated also. They have to understand at least a little bit. They have to be there to help you because you only have yourself. And they can't feel the pain. They can't do anything to really take it away unless they help you to fight it. And they have to understand, okay, if you have your parents, they cannot get mad if you need them to massage your ankle or something. But it's so weird growing up to the fact that I didn't even like asking. I didn't even like doing anything that involved needing help. So I would always find ways to do things myself. If I had to massage my ankle, I would use my heel or my foot and do it myself. And it's just like, every day, I just want to feel nothing. I wonder what it's like to feel nothing. And I'm not the only one out there. I don't even like a pity party. I just know that sometimes it gets harder and you have to get stronger and not give up. So anybody out there, I want you to know that it's not as bad as it may feel in the beginning, and you have to stay strong because the battle gets tougher, but you can make it through. I'm still standing here today and I can still smile on people's faces and have a good time, and every day isn't the worst. Every day isn't the worst, but there are some bad days and there's some good days, so try to do things that you know you can do and be around people that uplift you because that's going to help. And you have to always keep in mind that you are young and your body is made to function perfectly, and the diseased mind creates disease, so don't give up. And I also want to mention that it's really important with defeating pain with your diet, because I know if I'm eating unhealthy and constantly trying to eat things that I know aren't the best for me, I'll feel it the next day and you'll have a flare up. And that's just something that you always have to remember, is that the way that you're eating affects the level of pain that you'll have to defeat the next day also. So I have to make that note. I want to say that I'm thankful for the doctors and surgeons that I've had and that continue to work with me. And every day I think about, if they weren't as good to me, then I wouldn't even be as strong as I am today too. So my surgeons, I'm really thankful for, and just the fact that they do what they do to help us. And even though that they're not always equipped to go with your opinions on what they should do, I just want everybody to know that you can always find a doctor that will take your opinions, because it's your body and you know. So don't settle for less, and if you have to keep looking for a doctor, keep looking. It's just crazy. Nobody likes taking medications either. I know that I'm always trying to reduce my medications. I don't like to take all these different chemical pills that, like, what is in this stuff? This is my body. So I think about, if I take just a pain reliever and something that helps, and that's what I'm going to do. I've gotten, like, steroid injections in my joints, and I don't even think they've helped. And it's just weird to think how I'm constantly trying to find ways to make life better for myself, and it's just weird how it's just your body. It's like when you have a will, you have a way. So when I feel like I'm weak and I cannot do something, that's just me being weak and doubtful. And I know that most of the time I'm strong, and I keep my mindset on knowing my future is going to be better and brighter, because I know that I won't give up. And I'm still trying to help others who maybe go through the same thing, because, yeah, it kind of worries me. I want to be able to save everybody, and I mean, the only thing I can do is try to relate to you in this video and try to help you somewhere without being negative. Always try to keep active, and then do walking, do your dancing in your room, tell whoever to leave you alone for an hour a day, and just get your freedom in your room and get that time to release. Do some Merkaba, spiritually connect, go out in the sun, and just, I don't know, everybody is different, so it's always up to you. Always remember to stretch and keep your head up, and know that there are better days, and don't give up on yourself because you know you're diagnosed, because that's just more motivation to fight anyone else's diagnosis. And yeah. People aren't going to understand, because I don't even understand. I just know that I'm trying every day to believe it's not forever, and believe it's temporary, and everyone out there should do the same. If you're experiencing any kind of pain, just try your hardest to keep a positive mindset about it, and know that you'll have better days and you'll get over it. And